Hey, what's up, guys? It's Brad. Today I want to talk about firearms. Some of the firearms that you might want to consider purchasing while you still can, if you're in a country where you can get them legally. And we're going to talk about a few other interesting loopholes that you can explore when it comes to getting your firearms in a place where they tell you that you can't have them, even though we're protected under the Second Amendment in the United States. So let's just talk a little bit about my recommendations. From and again, I'm no soldier, I'm no anybody, but what I did see was I saw burn loot murder, as I call them, or BLM, which is comprised of precisely zero black people, or like about the death rate of COVID-19, 0.001% death rate. That's the amount of black people in Black Lives Matter if you look at their rallies, because it's not about black people. So let's just fucking cut the shit. So BLM, Antifa, these corrupt cops that are coming around and arresting patriotic Americans for having prayer rallies and singing in an outdoor church is terrorism, it's tyranny, and it's scary. It's scary. I personally have seen, I was living in New York, and I was living on Chambers Street, and then on the other end of Chambers Street is City Hall. And at City Hall, they were rioting. They set up a Chaz 2.0, if you remember that whole thing from, what was it, fucking Seattle or Portland, one of those commie cities. And literally, I mean, they have a fucking encampment 7 or 10 blocks away from me. They're rioting and looting when they were doing the goddamn peaceful protests. By the way, they left these notes by my building that were like, I have the note. It said, white people, you need to pay us reparations for your toxic whiteness. I swear to God, I have it saved. I posted it on my Facebook. It's insane. It's terrorism. It was unbelievable what they got away with, and it was scary at the time because I was unarmed. So I moved out of the city. I went to a place that was legal to obtain firearms, and I bought firearms, and I kept them up there. And it's just this is what I recommend. This is what I've learned in the 2 months, I think, since then, and I've really dove pretty deep on it. Is number one, I'm just going to give you my simple recommendation. The first thing is a rifle. AR-15 is probably your best bet. Your rifle is your that's the main thing that you're going to use, because it's accurate at a far distance. It has interchangeable magazines depending on the state that you're in. In New York, you have a fixed magazine, which is the most unsafe thing that I've ever heard, and that's why I recommend that you move to a state where it doesn't have laws that are so draconian that violate your own right to protect yourself and your family. Because imagine having to load, for you gun guys out there, having to load bullets in through the ejection port of your rifle in the middle of a gunfight. Like, it's as if criminals are going to have compliant weapons. That's insane. But of course, anywhere that you defend yourself apparently is illegal nowadays. And see the McCloskeys. You remember that case where burn, loot, murder, and Antifa, meth head, white boy losers, rejects that suck at life, and you have to get paid $200 a day by George Soros, kicked in this guy's shit, his gate to his house. They went and they poured into his property, like, just foaming at the mouth, fake liberals screaming at the guy, telling him they're going to kill him and his wife and burn down his property. And they were advised by 911 to evacuate their property. Then they came out, and the guy had an AR-15. He's like, look, get the fuck off my property. She had a little, like, Derringer or a .22 pistol, and she's pointed at them. And they're both like, get the fuck out of here, dude. They didn't fire any warning shots, nothing. And they got arrested. None of the looters got arrested that burst into the property. So it's just, none of that matters, okay? If somebody says that they're going to kill you, you have a right to defend yourself. And we've seen instances of patriotic Americans getting shot, albeit that they're at a patriot rally, which, probably not the smartest thing to do. If you're just like a normal person, go vote, go if you want to go to a prayer rally, fine, or a patriot rally, or go to church, fine. But Antifa and BLM aren't like, they're not like super high level. They're pawns. They're losers. They're not like the leadership. You should be pissed at the people that allow this to go on. You shouldn't be pissed at Antifa and BLM. You're not looking for a fight with them. You're just looking to protect yourself. And it's scary when there's 1,000 of them out there and they're banging on your windows. They're firing shots in your windows. So anyway, the rifle, the AR-15, great platform. Get one in a state that doesn't have the fixed magazine rule. Get ammunition and get training. And if you get an AR-15, I recommend you get one with the 5.56. It's able to shoot 5.56 rounds because it's backwards compatible with 2.23 rounds. They're very similar in size, but AR-15 that's rated at only being able to shoot 2.23 rounds can't shoot 5.56. And right now there's an ammo shortage, so you gotta if you run into 2.23 ammo, pick that up. If you run into 5.56 ammo, pick that up. But if you only have one that fires 2.23, you can only get 2.23 ammo. With the 5.56, you can get both. So that's why I say that. And there's a lot of great brands out there. Do your own research. Just get one. I would just say just get one that is reliable, that you get at a store, that is something that you can have to protect your home. Another advantage of this is that it's really loud. So if somebody's breaking into your home and you're like, stop, dude, and they don't stop, you rack the bolt, you fucking hit the bolt release, you're like, dude, stop, and then you fire a shot. Everyone's gonna hear that you're in a fucking gunfight. Everyone's gonna hear that. I mean, obviously a shotgun's loud too, but AR is super loud, so that's another advantage with that there. Also, it's semi-automatic, so if there's a big group of people theoretically coming into your house or coming onto your property that have weapons and they're threatening to kill you, I mean, you've got 30 rounds in the mag. So there's that. And also you can drop the mag, put a new one in, and what they talk about, combat load is 7 mags. So keep that in mind. If you have all those ready, you have the weapon ready, you've done the training, which we'll get to in a minute, you have a chance of protecting yourself. And that's really what it's about. You're not going out looking for these people, but if they come to your house, yeah, you actually do have a right to protect your property and your life, and your kid's life, and your wife's life, and your brother's life, and your sister's life, and your parents' life, and all these people. Like, you have a right to protect them. That's why we have the Second Amendment. Don't anybody that tells you you're supposed to just sit back and suck the criminal's dick too while he's raping your wife and murdering your children and stealing and burning and looting your property, it's pathetic, and it's not true. Get some shit to defend yourself. Fuck that. The next thing I'd recommend would be a handgun for concealed carry. And you're going to want to get a permit and go through the proper channels in your state. Most states you can get the permit to concealed carry. New York and California, obviously you can't. That's reserved for BLM and Antifa. They can carry, but you can't. The criminals can carry, but you can't carry. So move out of those places and go somewhere you can get a permit to concealed carry. From there, I recommend, again, I'm no gun guy, and I don't really fucking know much about guns, but I know a bit, and this is my recommendation. You get a Glock 26. Glock 26 is very reliable, very well-known brand, very few moving parts, and it's very, very reliable. It fires 9mm rounds, and it's a compact gun. It's a very subcompact gun. It's easy to carry. It doesn't show when you're carrying it, so it's not like obvious that you have a gun on you. If you have like a big full size like Glock 19 or something like that, it's going to be more obvious. The bigger the gun is, the more it's going to print. And I just recommend that you put some night sights on it, some tritium night sights, so that you get a sight picture in the dark, meaning that when it's dark out, you actually, if you're holding the gun here, you have the ability to line up the sight picture at night. If it's just black sights, it's very hard to do that and accurately see where you're shooting, especially in a quick situation. So that's a good upgrade. I also just recommend getting getting lights on your AR and your handgun. I talk about all my recommended upgrades and stuff like that on my blog, bradholiday.com. And again, I'm not like a super great gun guy, but if you're just looking for some quick recommendations that are pretty solid, go to my blog. I have them all written out, but I wanted to get this out to you quickly. Like, there's a lot of people too that are like, they're like, all these friggin', I'm gonna be honest, they're cucks. They're people that are like, why would you ever need a gun? I don't want to live in fear. I'm like, dude, like, I live way more comfortably knowing that I have firearms than I do when I'm watching a riot go on outside and I don't have shit. That's scary. Having firearms in that situation, it's still scary, but it's a lot less scary that way. Let me just tell you. You feel a lot safer when you have guns than when you don't have guns. When the criminals have guns, you're a lot more scared than when if you have guns. And if they have guns, it's still, you're not looking forward to that, but at least you have something to fight back and you're not just a victim. The next thing I'd recommend would be just a shotgun. Mossberg is fine. Just get a pump action shotgun, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, whatever. And yeah, just get enough ammo. It's recommended that you have 1,000 rounds of ammo per gun. Get as much as you can, because it's a huge ammo crisis too, where the ammo's in massive short supply. The cost of it is super expensive. It's like double what it was 2 years ago. But you could still get it online, and you could still get it in certain stores. They get some restock sometimes. But I highly recommend that you get it, because there's a number of reasons. One, the riots are incredibly scary when you experience them. The idea that the government's going to come by and forcibly force you to take, forcibly inoculate you with this COVID vaccine that's proven to get you sick. I mean, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking the vaccine. I'm not taking anything that they force me to do. This is, whatever happened to my body, my rights, they don't care. It was all a big lie. It's bullshit. So, I'm not saying do anything illegal, but, you better leave me the fuck alone. Like, don't threaten me with violence or inoculations or any of that shit. Just leave me the fuck alone. And that's what America's all about. That's why we have the Second fucking Amendment. And there's a lot of people in Australia and the UK and in California and New York City that want guns now that can't get them because they were so cucked that they were like, oh my god, I'm so frightened about holding a firearm. It's just gonna go off and kill my baby. I'm like, dude, that's not how guns work. And they all changed their tune. All these liberals changed their fucking tune, and that's why gun ownership has fucking skyrocketed. Last point I'm going to make, you're going to want to get training. So training you could do in a couple of ways. You could do dry firing training, where you're just practicing with the weapon in dummy rounds, which don't have any primer in them, so they don't go off. You could just practice, be careful, and always practice good gun safety. Make sure that treat every weapon as if it's loaded. Don't ever point a gun at anything you don't intend to destroy. Know what's in front of your target and beyond it. Always practice good trigger discipline. The gun doesn't go off unless you squeeze the trigger. Unless something squeezes the trigger, the gun doesn't go off. The gun doesn't just shoot somebody. Your finger, when you pull the trigger, is actually what does cause the gun to go off. So that's it. Just be careful with the dry firing. Get some proper training. I need to get some proper training myself. I'm a new gun owner myself, but this is what I've learned. Yeah, that's about it, man. Practice with it. Practice. Just become familiar with it. Learn how it works. Learn how to clean it. Learn how to take it apart. Learn all this stuff. And there's that. Another point that I want to make too is if you can't get a gun and you're scared, you have options. And they hate that this exists. But I'm going to tell you about it. It's called Polymer 80. Polymer 80 is, you can buy lower receivers for an AR-15 and a handgun that are basically made of polymer. They're 3D printed. And then you can buy the other components the slides and the triggers and the bolts and all that separately, and that's completely legal. It's legal to build a firearm. It's not legal to purchase a firearm from a dealer without a permit in some states, but it's legal to own it. Now, in terms of using it, that's, of course they have so much regulation. I mean, you see this with McCloskey, and it all just went out the window too. I'm pretty sure that, the McCloskeys were completely in their right. They were legal gun owners. Somebody breaks on your property, you don't even shoot them, and they brandish the weapon on their property inside their gates, and they get arrested. It seems to me like the rules are kind of going out the window a little bit anyway. So, as they say, it's better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. And frankly, I like I said, I'm not letting anybody break into my house, try to kill me. So Polymer 80 is a good option for that. You're going to need to learn how to assemble it. You're going to need to test it, and you're going to need to do that. But if you have no other options, that's a good option. Another addition to the Polymer 80, if you get a handgun, you get like Glock or something, Glock 26, you can also get a Ronin conversion tool, which will make the handgun into a carbine, and it's got some cool features. It's like $300, and you basically, I think you take the slide off or something, and then I don't know how it works. Or maybe you could even just kind of plug it in and snap it in. That'd be awesome. And then it's got like this foldable stock, which is sick. I love that. It's like a SCAR or something like that. Foldable stock. It's got the Pickaninny rails on it, so you could put lasers and lights and shit on it. And it's now a carbine rifle. So that's another option for you too, and that's legal to buy. Another point that I'd like to make is body armor. Body armor is completely illegal. It's crazy we even have to talk about, getting some body armor is illegal, as if having something that will protect you, God forbid that you're in a firefight, is like a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. It's a really good thing. You don't want to have a bullet just tear through your internal organs, dude. That doesn't sound too fun to me. That sounds like you're going to die or your whole life's going to be massively changed. And even if you get hit with the body armor, you can have good body armor. I personally got level 4 plates, ceramic plates, and a good with anti-spalling on the fronts, which means that when the bullet hits it and the fragmentation explodes, that the fragmentation is contained in the body armor and it doesn't explode all over my face, and I get hot lead in my neck and face, permanently disfiguring my fucking face. And you can actually get payment plans. There's a lot of good stuff. You can also get a helmet. I haven't gotten that high-speed helmet or whatever, but just anything that you can get it's gonna protect you and allow you to be a protector of your family. Medical kits, trauma kits, all that other stuff. You can look this stuff up for yourself so that you're prepared in the event of something bad happening. And based on what the Democrats are talking about after the election, and what I've seen them do, and what we've all seen them do all summer, where they burned down the fucking cities, they destroyed and looted, and it was clearly sponsored. I had this one girl I was seeing that was telling me that Black Lives Matter, literally, they had these Antifa people with, remember the pallets of bricks? There were pallets of bricks placed all around the city. And they were just, and even the people that, the Antifa people were nudging the black people, paying the black people, seriously, the black people that showed up, to go take the bricks and use them. And a lot of them were like, nah, man, I'm not doing that shit. I just want to, I want to go and loot some stuff and everything. And they did. But they were like, I'm not trying to, go to murder anybody. But a lot of them did. Don't get it twisted. A lot of them did sucker punch people. They did stab people. The crime rate here in New York City is outrageous. Outrageous what's happening. So just get prepared, dude. If they're planning on doing some big-ass thing that's 10 times bigger than what they did in the summer, dude, you better be prepared, man. That's all I'm saying. Get out of the cities and have some type of firearm stuff, armor, and protection so that you could be safe when the shit goes down. If it does go down, hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, even if this isn't, even if it doesn't ever pop off, be thankful for that and still have firearms, have firearm training, and just know how to use it. I mean, if there's anything that I've one of the main things I've learned from this whole crazy fucking year is, you know, you got to just do what's right, and that means taking a risk. That means speaking out against the draconian, fruit bags in government and that manage big tech that'll tell you, oh no, did you just say you like Trump? Do you have a gun? Oh my god! Meanwhile, they're there with fucking private security with guns. All these liberal elites, Beta O'Rourke, this guy that wants to take your guns, he has private security with guns. So it's like, you don't get guns, you don't get protection, you have to be in the middle of the riots and the lockdown, but, us liberal elite that are in government, we get protection and we get a paycheck. You can go fuck yourself. You can eat cake. Let them eat cake. So that's about it. Hope you guys have a great day. Check out my blog, bradholiday.com, for more tips. Peace.